Hello, welcome. I'm Jessica. And yeah, in this video, I'm not gonna have any cards. I just want to tell you the things that made me realize that I am in a twin flame connection, or that I might be. um, I'm kind of 99% sure that I am, but I am not in union. We have never dated, so yeah, so it's hard to tell. I think you find out for 100% once you do come into union. But yeah, it happened 23 years ago when we met, before Google, before the internet really, and so it was yeah, different times then, it's a long time ago. Yeah, but so the thing is, I was already married when I met my twin, and so my ex-husband and I were just walked along, and he came by, right, our way, passing our way, and since he was like a really good friend of my ex-husband's, he introduced me to him. So we just stood across from each other, right, and reached out our hands, and we shook hands, and of course looked into each other's eyes. And the moment we shook hands, I was like, he's the one. Oh my God, right? But I was already married, so yeah. And then lots of things happened. Eventually, down the road, we had I'm not going to go into all the details, that doesn't really matter, but I just want to give you all the signs, right? And then we had like a moment actually down the road where we had like a kiss. And when we kissed, I had an out-of-body experience. I grew up not religious or anything. I grew up communist, and I had no idea about souls or God or anything like that, right? Like during communism, they don't really want people to be religious. So there were people that were, but our family wasn't. And my dad to this day still says he doesn't have a soul, right? So he believes like when we die, there's absolutely nothing. And that's what I grew up with. And I was like, that was my belief to that point, right? But once I had that kiss and my soul left my body, I was like in the universe, and all I could see was like stars, but like in the distance too. So not like close up. And then after a while, I just entered my body again. And when that happened, I was like, holy cow, what just happened, right? Like we were drawn to each other like crazy, like magnets, right? So that was, I didn't ask him if he thought that I'm the one either. We didn't talk about any of those things, but I feel like we both had the same attraction to each other. So yeah, after I had that out-of-body experience, I went crazy, basically. I was like, what is going on? What is this, right? I had dated a lot of guys, like, when I was younger and stuff, and then also I was married, right? Like, I never had an out-of-body experience before, right, with anyone, or never had I heard of anyone ever having that. I'm not sure if Google was already around, but if not, definitely years later I Googled, right? And I always tried to find, and I found one single person who had the same experience. She was kissing her boyfriend on the beach, and then she had an out-of-body experience. So that's the only person that I ever read a comment of that had the similar experience to me, right? Until I found out about twin flames. So yeah, that was what happened to me, which I figured personally that is a sign this is your twin, right? Because I believe that it is literally your other half, right? Like your soul gets cut in half. I actually had a vision of my soul being split, and then you enter two bodies. And that's why I feel like you have that out-of-body experience, because first of all, from what I've been hearing now over the 1.5 or 1 year, yeah, it's more 1.5 years that I've known about twin flames, is that the twin flame is supposed to cause your spiritual awakening, right? If you haven't had that already. So yeah, and I absolutely had nothing to that point. So he definitely triggered my spiritual awakening, even though it was 23 years ago. And just now, the last few years, I have actually gone through my spiritual awakening, like fully. But that was the beginning, right? That made me question about God and or source, I like to call it source, and about life after death and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, he definitely triggered that because of the out-of-body experience. Well, we could never be together though. And then, yeah, what was another sign? Oh yeah, and then he was then also married and had gone through trauma in his marriage. And when that event was going down, I could feel that in my body, right? Like I knew something was happening. And I called him, right? We weren't really in communication, but I called him and he answered, which was unusual, right? And he was just like, oh my God, why are you calling right now? Why are you calling right now? And then I said, I don't know. I have this feeling that I needed to call you, like something, you know, I needed to call you. Yeah, and then he explained what happened, and then it made sense, right? Why I sensed that. And then he had another crazy tower moment later on that I could also feel, right? And I talked to him then too, and yeah, it was because he was having another bad experience. So I can feel him, right? Also, what I believe, I don't have that confirmed. We don't talk or anything, so I always have like a pain on the left side of my leg where the joints meet, I guess, to the groin, and I cannot walk, right? Like I have to like limp with my left leg. And I had like seen a video where he is limping and holding that spot. So I think that it might be his pain, and every once in a while, maybe when we're more connected or something, or the energies are right, I don't know, I can feel that pain. Or maybe when it's really bothering him, then I feel it too. So yeah. Oh yeah, and then another time, years and years later, we did come together in person again and saw each other again. And at that point, we hadn't seen each other for 8 years when we came together. And when we sat across from each other, we interlocked our hands and looked into each other's eyes. And when we did that, and we were in like a pub, right? We were like in a Irish pub, so it was really loud, lots of people, music, but everything disappeared. So that was the strangest thing. So I would say it's kind of an out-of-body experience, but it felt different than it felt more like literally the reality disappeared, like everything, like in the movie The Matrix, you know, when Neo goes in and the room is all white, that's what it was, but it was all black. Everything just disappeared. But we were there, you know what I mean? Like I could still feel our energy, and it was the most amazing experience. And I could hear angelic sound music, even though we were an Irish pub, right? There wasn't angelic music. I could hear angelic music. So yeah, and then of course that was another sign for me, right? Like this is different. This is not anything that, yeah, a regular relationship, right? So, or a regular connection. And then other things are just like, you know, you just look at him and I know what he's thinking. Like I see everything in his eyes. Like I know exactly what is on his mind. And yeah, and now the last few years, I just feel him very strongly, very strongly. I can just sense him, you know, like, yeah. And then I believe I also had a soul merge with him, I guess. I mean, I don't know who else it would be. And, I can communicate with him telepathically as well, even though we are not connected. He channeled songs to me. I can communicate with him and talk to him about a situation. We actually have real conversations. It's really strange. And ever since that soul merge, it feels like when I communicate with him, I'm communicating with myself. It's like two voices inside of my body now, if that makes sense. It's a very strange experience. And the soul merge was a really scary experience too. But yeah, I feel like that's it. Those are like all the main things that I have experienced and that make me believe he is my twin flame, right? Yeah, 99%. So since I am blocked and he doesn't talk to me, and it's basically over, and I'm actually, it's kind of funny too, Queen Chi has been channeling, right, that the divine feminines are moving on. They're no longer the chaser. They're like running away. So it's almost like reversal energy. And that's where I am at now too, right? So I believe he wants to stay where he's at. And I just wish him happiness. That's another thing. Oh yeah, so good. That's why it's good that I went this way. Yeah. So what you also find with your twin flame is you always forgive them everything they do. Anytime they hurt you, you forgive them. It doesn't matter, right? The reason why is it's because it's your soul, right? Your one soul. If you wouldn't forgive your twin, that would mean you don't love yourself and you don't forgive yourself, right? So that's why you always forgive your twin. Your twin can always come home to you, right? Yeah. And what do I want to say? So yeah, we'll always forgive them. That's another sign. Oh yeah, and he's always on your mind, right? Or at least for me. Ever since we shook hands 23 years ago, I basically think of him every single day. But I just want him to be happy. That's all. Like, it doesn't have to be with me, right? Like, I'm totally okay if he has another life, as long as he's happy, then I'm happy. Because that's the thing, we feel each other's energy, right? I even feel physical pain. So it's important for him to be happy than for me to really be happy, right? Because I feel his energy. So if he is always upset or stressed out or unhappy, then of course I will sense that somehow, right? And it will affect my energy. So yeah, I just want him to be happy. It doesn't have to be with me, If he is happy somewhere else, that's great. And I'm finally at the point of moving on. So that's why I'm saying it's so funny, because Queen Chi's been channeling that. So yeah, I am moving on now. I'm made peace with it. I am letting my twin go. And you can never technically let them. You're always energetically connected. But and I don't want to do like a cut or anything. I heard people trying to actually cut cords or something, but you can't do that anyways, even if you wanted to. It's your soul, so you cannot cut that. But I am definitely making peace with it, right? I'm making peace with the situation. I'm making peace with where he's at, that he has me blocked, that he doesn't want to talk to me anymore. And I'm like, okay, good. I accept that. I am moving on now, right? And I'm seeking a soulmate relationship now, right? Like, you can still be happy and love other people, right? Like, it's just a different kind of love. It's like twins, the human twins, right? When they come and then there's another child, they're still the same love. They still all love each other, right? It's just a little bit different with the twin, right? They can read each other's mind oftentimes and things like that. So it's a different kind of connection, but that doesn't mean you don't have love for other people, right? So, and I am ready now to give my love to somebody, right? I've been waiting here. I was waiting actually since I found out about twin flames. I was waiting, and he decides not to. I call it coming home. And now I'm like, okay, I'm making peace with it. That's fine. I am done waiting. I'm getting older. I don't want to miss out on the opportunity to have a happy life. So that's why I'm choosing me, that half of my soul. I am choosing that because this is the body, right? Like I am living in this. So I am choosing to, yeah, to move on finally. Finally. So I'm very happy about that. And yeah, I'm moving on, and I am so excited to see what life brings, and what doors will open, what opportunities will come, the love that I will receive and the love that I will be able to give, and to really enjoy life with a partner, right? I've been wanting that for so long. Been single for 14 years. So yeah, so I'm really, really excited, and I can't wait. And yeah, I hope this video helped you in any way, maybe to clarify if you are in a twin flame connection or not. I knew I always had this question. I didn't know what, I thought I was crazy, right? Because I went out with lots of men, and I could forget all of them, right? And I've been in love with a few of them, and they didn't want to date me, and I could forget about them too. So it's just this one person I couldn't forget. And I was like, this is so weird. Like, I am fine with everyone else moving on, right? Oftentimes I'm even still friends with them afterwards, right? No problem whatsoever. But this one person is different. Like, this one is not. Like, and so I was worried about my sanity. I was worried about, what is going on. And then it was such a relief that 1.5 years ago or something, I finally found out what twin flames are. And then boom, yeah, it all made sense, right? And then I was so relieved. I'm like, okay, there is a reason to this madness, right? So yeah, and if you find yourself in the same shoes, then yeah, rest assured you're not crazy, right? You're just in a twin flame connection, and it is a roller coaster of a ride. But yeah, you are in charge of your life, right? This is your body, your life, your half of your soul, and you can choose happiness for you, right? If your twin is also not coming forward and wanting to spend this lifetime with you, you can move on and wish them well, right? And yeah, just hope that they're happy, and then you seek your own happiness, right? And there's lots of soulmates that we have. We only have one twin, but we have lots of soulmates. And so you can go and try to find your soulmate, and yeah, you'll still have a happy, beautiful life, right? So okay, with that, I'm saying goodbye. Thank you for listening. And if you like the video, please, yeah, give a thumbs up. Maybe subscribe to the channel. We'll start posting more of this informative content as well here. Yeah, Queen Chi and I are just trying also to come back together to produce more content for you all. So yeah, with that, have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you soon.